In this video, we're going to go over a recent graded collection that I just picked up. We're going to go over what's in it, what I paid, all that. Stay tuned.
Bry's Comics.
First up, we have a live sale tomorrow. If you're watching this the day it comes out, Friday, April 29th, over on my Instagram page at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern time. We go for about 5 hours. We're going to be joined by Steven from @MinorKeysComics over on Instagram. If you're not following him, go give him a follow. It's always going to be a great time. There's going to be tons of giveaways, tons of great deals, and all of these books that were in this collection are going to be available exclusively first at that live sale. In fact, I would be shocked if all of these didn't sell because they're just going to be, priced to move. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope to see you there. Also, we always do a monthly giveaway on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, and like this video for your chance to win a Moon Knight #1 newsstand. And we also do a giveaway for the newsletter at brycecomics.com. If you sign up for the newsletter, you're entered to win a graded Fantastic Four Silver Age key this month. This collection came in. A seller reached out to me and said, hey, I have these books that I'm looking to sell. He sent a list of the books and a picture. There's only 8 slabs. And I very quickly looked them up online. It was like the end of the day. I spent like 5 minutes on eBay looking at sold prices. I saw the sold prices for all of them were around $4,700. And so I told him I can do 70% of FMV, which is $3,300. That's the absolute best I can do on these. He said, man, that sounds like a really fair offer. Let's do it. And so I gave him my address. He sent me the books. And within minutes of opening the package, I sent him the money, and it's a done deal. I love deals like this because these are really desirable keys. They're easy to move. It's a smaller collection, so it's just, less money tied up. It's just awesome. I get content for the channel, and I get to, list them for prices that are going to make the future owners of these books very happy. So it's a win-win-win. That's why I love collections like this. So I'll get into a few more details about this deal because it was kind of funny how it all played out in the end. But first, let's go over the actual book. So first up, we have Invincible Iron Man #9 in a 9.6 white pages. It's the first appearance of Rebrand Williams. This has the custom Iron Man label. And this book is every bit of a 9.6. There's no chance for a grade bump on this one because there's just a couple color breaking spine ticks. So it's definitely a 9.6. Next, we have Silver Surfer #3 in a 4.0 with off-white to white pages, the first appearance of Mephisto. And this book hasn't been pressed or cleaned. There's a couple improvable things on it, but it would take a high-level presser and cleaner. It's harder to press square-bound books. There's some staining that can be improved, but again, it takes a high-level presser to do that. And at best, you're going to get like a 4.5 or a 5 out of this book. So it really doesn't make any sense to crack this. I think you just enjoy it at a 4.0, a more reasonable entry level anyways for that book. Next, we have Marvel Voices Legacy #1, the Virgin Edition in a 9.8. This is just incredible artwork by Gabriel Dell'Otto. Awesome story too. Beautiful cover lever slab there. And here's the gem of the collection, in my opinion. I guess it depends on what kind of books you prefer, because you could argue that another book is the gem of this collection. But here we have Fantastic Four #49, the first full appearance of Galactus, the second appearance of the Silver Surfer, and the first cover appearance of Galactus and the Silver Surfer, and just iconic cover art. I mean, this cover is just so freaking good. And I am dying to have one of these in the personal collection. I'd like to have one a little bit higher grade, maybe a 7 or an 8. I love Stan Lee's signatures, so I'm on the lookout for that. But this is going to make a great addition to somebody's personal collection. It's a 4.5. I think, it could easily have been graded a 5.0, 5.5 at best. I don't think it's worth cracking and pressing. I guess it just kind of depends on your strategy. But with a book like this, there's not a ton of stuff that can be improved. I don't see any glaring defects that can be drastically improved. So you're kind of just rolling the dice. You're just saying, because there's a very fine line between a 4.0, 4.5, 5.0. So, you could easily get a 5.0 and not press or do anything with this book and just resubmit it and get a 5.0. If you submit this book like 5 times, you'll probably get a range of grades between, 4.0 and 5.0. So I just don't think it's worth it. Just enjoy it in a 4.5. Beautiful book. Next up, we have Ultimate Spider-Man #1 in a 9.4 with white pages. This one definitely can get a bump to a 9.6. It has no shot at a 9.8 because of a color breaking tick up the top, but it hasn't been pressed, so there are pressable defects. It could easily get a 9.6, but again, this is one of those things that's like, is it really worth it? By the price difference between a 9.4 and a 9.6 isn't going to be huge on that book. There's a chance that it doesn't get a 9.6, and you might have to submit it several times. So in my opinion, just keep that one as is. Now this one, on the other hand, we have Ultimate Fallout 4 in 9.6 white pages. And this one just has this tiny, tiny, tiny color breaking spine tick. And I'll be honest, I have seen 9.8s that look worse than this. This looks better than some 9.8s that I've had that have come through my shop. That degree of, a small color breaking spine tick is almost negligible. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen 9.8s with a spine tick like that. So this one begs the question. Is it worth cracking out and sending back in? I think with this particular book, if you were to crack it and send it back in 5 times, I think probably 2 of those times it would get a 9.8, and that's just the subjective nature of grading. Is just, this is the hobby that we're in, and people are going to do that. Now, that book is somewhere, in a 9.8 between $3,000 or $4,000. I haven't looked recently. 9.6 is probably half that. So that one's got me thinking, is it worth it? I almost think it's not worth it for me at this point. Like, I'd rather just sell it at a decent price today, or hold it. I do have a bunch of copies that I'm waiting for that announcement that we're all waiting for. So we'll see. So Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #8 in a 9.6 white pages, double signed, beautiful, beautiful book signed by John Beatty and Michael Zack. It's the origin of the alien symbiote that eventually becomes Venom. Just a beautiful, beautiful book. There's no chance at cracking or pressing this unless you have CGC do it, because it's a gold label verified signature. So if you were to crack this, you'd lose the gold label unless you had CGC do it. And so that to me is just out of the question. I would never have them crack something. There's just a tiny, tiny, tiny color breaking spine tick on this. Again, it's negligible. So last up, we have Spider-Man #12 in a 9.6, the first kiss between Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy and Spider-Gwen, and just this beautiful cover art by Sarah Pichelli. I wish I had 100 copies of this, because it doesn't take a speculative genius to know that this is going to happen on screen. At some point, what we're seeing right here on this cover is going to happen on the big screen, and it's going to cause an increase in a bunch of different books, not just this one. So I wish I had a whole bunch of copies, but I don't. Awesome cover lover book right there, especially for any Miles Morales fan. So a couple more details about this collection. So the kid that sent him to me, he's a college kid, and he was super nervous. He was super nervous. Understandable. I get it. For me, I'm like, this is every day. Somebody has a collection. I give them a price. They send the books. I send them money. It happens to me all the time. So I don't even question it. I don't even think of anything, because there's no stress involved for me. I don't put the money out until I actually get the books, and I've never, ever had a problem. So to me, it's no big deal, but I can understand why to some people, if this is your whole collection, $3,000 or $4,000 is a lot of money. I can understand some hesitation and some anxiety around the issue. So he also didn't really know how to pack and ship. So he's sending me pictures throughout the whole process of packing and shipping. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So he also, is messaging me from the post office, and he gets it fully insured. So next thing you know, he's sending me like text updates, like where the package is in transit. Like, oh, it shows it just left Virginia. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like, it's when it gets here, I'll pay you. And so the moment it's delivered, I see the mail lady pull up and it's delivered. And within seconds of her scanning that package, I get a text message. Hey, saw the package was delivered. Everything okay? And it's just so irritating, because there is literally no possible way that I could know that everything was okay within seconds of it being delivered. Like, you have to give me at least 20 minutes or so to open the package and inspect it, right? So So 30 seconds, he's sending me like, is everything okay? And I didn't respond. I was actually in the middle of a workout. Next thing you know, my Instagram's blowing up and he's sending me pictures of the tracking saying it was delivered to my Instagram. And then my phone rings and he's calling me on my phone. It's like, oh my goodness, this dude is blowing me up. So I messaged him back. I'm like, hey, it just got delivered. Give me a second. I'm going to open it. I'm sure everything's fine. And the funny thing about it was that he packaged them very well inside the box, but he left a ton of empty space on the outside of the box. So the box was just absolutely crushed. And when I saw the box, I was like, oh, great. I hope we're not going to have like, a big issue here. But he packaged them super well inside the box. So luckily there was zero damage on any of these books. And so, I open it and within minutes, I'm just like, hey, everything's fine. First of all, when you package books in boxes, there can't be any empty space. It's a cardboard box. Like, just imagine what happens with empty space in a cardboard box. So next time, make sure there's no empty space. Everything's all good. Where do you want me to send you the money? Sent you the $3,300 and it was a done deal. I paid $3,300, which was about 70% of FMV. I think it's a great opportunity if you have a collection like this or just some graded books that you need to move in a hurry. Maybe you need $3,000 or $4,000 real quick. I think it's a great opportunity or at least option to be able to send me your books and I'll get you paid right away. So if that's something that interests you, links in the description to all my contact info. I really hope to see you at the live sale tomorrow. If you're watching this today, it comes out Friday, April 29th on my Instagram page starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time. All of these books are going to be available exclusively over there, plus so much more. Tons of giveaways, awesome stuff all night long. And thank you as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bry's Comics.